Welcome to ISAP, where we make jokes, paint, probably other stuff I don't have a vision for, and home of terrible intros. It is June 18th, 7 11. Oh, 12. Nice. And we're about to paint 4 spheres. I'm going to get right into it using a little reference here for my first larger sphere. I'm painting from a reference that basically has 4 spheres on the table, but I want to get a base for it first. Now it's actually not big enough, at least the way I want it, so that's why I'm just going to go into it and eyeball it a little bit more bigger. Maybe that's too big. So, why are you here? Why am I here? You are here because you are bored. I am here because I want to get better. Simple as that. I want to get better at painting. And little birdie told me. Sorry, I'm not used to talking a lot. Basically, the way I want to get better is from teaching other people. So I'm here to teach you. This is not perfect at all. Doesn't have to be though. We're working with oil paint on this terrible canvas, by the way. It is terrible. Just not stretched at all. The top of it bows down. And it's probably the cheapest cotton you can ever get. Excuse me. Now, I did say 4 spheres. So we're going to use an I Love New York cup for the other 3, using one side for the bigger parts, for the bigger spheres. I kind of forgot to draw the horizon line, so let's just eyeball it. Okay, it's a little crooked, that's fine. Like I said, we're doing this with oil paint. It can be very forgiving. You can bump it, move it. So forgiving, you can make bunnies into rabbits. Let's go to the next one. So teaching. Why am I doing it through YouTube? Well, I don't really have to teach anyone. Plus, I have a lot on my plate already. I don't need appointments. That oh. I don't need appointments or classes that I have to be responsible for. I'm already. This is actually 4 classes. I don't think this one's large enough. Yeah, not large enough. But it is good over here. It needs to come out more over here, so I'm going to eyeball it again. We have a little friend that wants to come in. She knows I'm here. I'm guessing she hears me. So, alright, let me go let her in. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm paying. No, you don't care? How you doing? You took over, huh? Alright, just sit down. Remember to drink too. It's important. Hey, excuse me, ma'am. Can you sit down? No, you cannot eat my paint. Go over there. Do that. Okay, stay over there. Okay. That one looks alright, I guess. Lay down. I'm gonna be painting. You know this. Just stay over there. Okay, it's a little large now. I think I might bump this up a little bit on all 4 sides. Now, if you really are here to learn how to paint, hello. I'm not gonna teach a lot right now. This is just me doing my thing, getting it set up. But don't mistaken. This is just as important as the actual painting. That's almost it. But we do have to put in shadows. This, I have no curve thingy, no template. So this is definitely eyeballing. So how about let's talk ellipses then. Ellipses are basically blonde circles, to put in layman's terms. Who is layman though? Who the hell is he? Whatever. That's not important. This is a little bit steep. However, mathematically, the way Newton saw it, it was a cross section of a cone. So if you imagine, like, if you took a cone, perfect cone, angles on the side like 45. I can't find my eraser. I'm stumbling over my words. Okay, no eraser then. Can we use this to just that's not working. No eraser. Okay, that's fun. We don't need it. We don't need erasers where we're going. We just imagine that the inside is where I have to stop the paint. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, whatever. Cross section of a cone. That creates the ellipse. But let's say this. How to create one. This sphere needs an ellipse. This sphere needs a shadow in shape of an ellipse. The light is coming from this direction, down. So the shiny parts, I guess, the more reflective parts of the light are going to be at the top left. So of course the shadows are going to be on the bottom right. To start, I guess, is to measure kind of the direction you want it. It's hard to explain, but on the table, the ellipse is going to be horizontal. So we'll start with a horizontal line. How far you want it depends on the angle of the light. How far up is it? Is it pointing up here? Is it pointing from there? Pointing from up here? Straight up is the sun or the light of pointing straight down onto the object, or a little bit to the left, to the right. That matters because the relation of the light and the object will tell where the shadow to go. Tell where the shadow will go. Can you tell that I haven't talked in a long time? So I'm going to look at my reference and copy the angle. How do I do that? I move my pencil around until I get a feeling of where the angle is going. So it's about copy an angle and translate it into your canvas. So I'm copying it right now, my arm fully outstretched, and I'm going to try to not move my wrist. So the angle is about there. So the shadow should end about there. And that looks about right. So here you have the long part of your shadow. Now we kind of have to make a plus, because now we have to write or draw the direction of the shortest part of the shadow. So it's almost like a football. So kind of like the shortest is going to be in the middle, but perpendicular to your long part. The mistake some people make is they try to draw the shadow, and at the end of the point, of one of the long parts, they go a little bit too sharp. You have to make sure that at some point over here, the shadow or the line of the shadow, the direction of the shadow is curving all along. So that means at one point it is vertical. So all the way, no matter how tiny, you always have to put some idea that it curves out into a vertical position. What some people do, I'm just going to draw here, is they draw the shadow like this. It is a sad ellipse. Oh no, it is not on camera. Boop. It's a sad ellipse. That already looks sad. Look how it's lonely. So on your shadow, you have to make sure you round out these corners. Maybe you can use this as a template. So you have to round out those corners. Because at one point, the shadow turns into a horizontal line. So there's a curve over here, and there's a curve over here. And then it goes into this long arc. However, the long arc can go all the way up here. The long arc can go very close to the center. The job of this vertical line that I draw here is to kind of guide me where it's going to reach its peak. It's going to reach its fattest length. To kind of decide where that is basically look at your reference, measure out by, imagine this is my reference. My reference is on an iPad. But all the same, outstretch your pencil or anything, and then align the tip of the pencil to the top of the object you're measuring. Then move your thumb down to the bottom of the position. There is the length that you have to make it onto your canvas. That makes it so that you're drawing what you're seeing. So when I measure out the shadow over here, I'm going to be able to just translate it over here and draw the exact same distance, the exact same length. So right now I'm measuring it out right now, and it is a lot shorter than what I initially thought. Just about that much from the tip. So what I'm going to do is basically eyeball it. And it's about that fat. However, because that I'm also scaling up these spheres, because if I measure out the sphere, it's not going to be, it's going to be short. Because I didn't start off that way. I wanted this to be kind of scaled up. So everything I'm doing is kind of instinctive. But if you're drawing from a reference, you're drawing from something in real life, you can measure a tree, 30, 50 feet away, measure with your thumb, translate onto the paper. I'm getting distracted by some ladies outside. They're a bit on the older side, but they are dressed nicely. And now I'm just wondering, where are they going? A party? A gathering? Probably not a funeral. They were dressed in bright colors. You know, unless they roll that way. Unless they roll in bright colors everywhere. For me, I have a black shirt. Almost every day. This is a little too bumpy. Whatever. For this, I'm not going to be worried too much. This is an assignment for me, but I am so tired from work. I am so exhausted. I don't really need stress. So I don't have to stress about this. I don't have to make it perfect. That is incorrect. This doesn't. I'm kind of measuring out or curving it as if it's going to end here, but it's not. It's going to end over here. The shadow is just that long. If I measure out the angle is going to be the same, even if I'm scaling up. The shadow should end about there. I should make sure I have that. I have the right angle. Yep, about there. Oh, it's getting a little wonky. Definitely. But I don't know. I feel like I can save it. Ugh. I have to throw my idea away. I wish I had eraser. I'm gonna just blur this out till I can't recognize it. That's about enough. Okay, from that, I can kind of see where I have to go, where I have to be, at what point where I should turn, and what I should do. So I'm just gonna put that, because of my reference, the shadow ends over here, very close to the sphere. But since I'm not drawing it perfectly, I'm going to throw that idea away. I'm going to do what I think is right. Now, I do think that this shadow is a little top heavy. It's not that perfect, but you know, I think to the imperfect human eye, it should work. Let me check on camera. Yeah, it's a little wonky. It is fine, just fine. try to measure the angle again. That looks short, but it's fine. If anyone is wondering, my dog did not disappear. She is very much still here. She's just chilling on my bed. Oh my goodness, this cheap canvas. Well, I'm pretty sure I bought it from Master's Touch. Is not good. Why am I painting on it? Because I have nothing else to paint on. I have ran out of canvases. So this is practically my only choice. Now, with painting, it can really encapsulate everything art has to offer. You almost need to be a jack of all trades. Almost. Because if you're drawing from references, you will most likely have to draw something a picture you took of. This is a little short. Most likely I have to draw picture you took of. But taking pictures isn't just point and snap, point and click, point and forget about it. It is really an active ordeal. So yeah, the first step to painting, get an idea. What do you want to paint? You'll kind of think for a while. And say, okay, I want to paint a spoon. Why? Because fuck you, that's why I think it looks nice. Jeez, I need a reason? No, you don't. You do not. If it looks nice to you, do it. But for those people that kind of think, okay, but what do I draw? What do I paint? That's where kind of being a jack of all trades kind of helpful. You kind of know, okay, I'm getting off track. What I mean about jack of all trades is because painting inquires a lot of stuff. A lot. it needs you to be it needs you to be able to take a picture. It needs you to be able to draw. It needs you to be able to see color. It's actually pretty darn difficult to see color. Let me tell you. Not just seeing it, but kind of telling exactly what color that is. It is a long thing. You need to be able to see color. You need to be able to know what composition means. You need to be able to draw in proportion. That's kind of under the umbrella of drawing, but it's just that important. Now, if you're going abstract, then you can probably throw all of what I said away. But me personally, I kind of want to draw something of a scene, something that I see. I want to draw probably a family member, myself. Okay. What is next? I think that's kind of it. This is the arcs for the shadows, by the way. I'm not gonna bother. I just need the outlines of everything and where it's gonna go. Zero is gonna go here, shadow is gonna go end here, light is gonna go here. Big shadow is gonna go here. The shadows are gonna connect over there. This is gonna be in shadow. Well, now that I think about it, this is gonna be in more shadow. So I'm gonna extend this. So the shadows are going to cross over here. And I'll decide what to do over there later. Maybe it's too far in. Okay. So you can be a jack of all trades for painting, and it will do you good. You don't have to be great at taking a picture and all that stuff. You just have to be great at the stuff that will help you with what kind of style you're going for. So if you're good at creativity, maybe something that deals with abstraction will be the path for you. If you're good with seeing color, good with proportion, and maybe not that good at shapes, maybe not fine detail, you don't have patience for that, you can probably look into I forgot the word. Impressionism. Kind of give the impression of a shape. Give you the impression of a person. You don't have to draw each single freckle, each single eyelash. You just have to give the impression that it's there. That's what I'm doing. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to get better at. So hopefully you'll see more of that. Maybe I'll translate it into this painting. Impressionism. So over here, for this painting, I don't have to be a jack of all trades. I don't have to take this picture. It's already taken for me. I don't have to think of, okay, what size, shape of spheres. I don't have to think of where they go. All I have to do is basically draw them, which was pretty easy. You know, just a sphere. Like drawing the angles is just measuring it out what it is, and that's it. You're basically copy pasting that angle. I need water. Make sure to drink water while you're painting. Now here comes the fun part. Actually painting, kind of. This is still painting. All this. The brushes I'm going to be using is just these three. Excuse me, ma'am. These three brushes. They are filbert. Filbert means it's in a curved shape. This is made out of hog hair, I think. It's from Master's Touch. Remember how I said this is from Master's Touch? Or is it Master's Touch? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's from Master's Touch. But I've been using this one. I'm gonna try out this Simply Simmons brush. And this number 4 filbert. Now, the spheres itself are going to be in grayscale. Oh, whatever. They're going to be in grayscale. What does that mean? It basically means black and white. So I have my colors: white, titanium white, and black. No, that is not black. That is burnt umber, and this is ultramarine. But together, they make black. How black? It is extremely black. It is pretty dark black. Yep, just straight out. Plop. Plop. Remember how I said Master's Touch is garbage because of the... Wait, no. No, it wasn't Master's Touch. It was Fine Touch. Fine Touch, I'm pretty sure it was that. I don't have the label for it. I threw it out, but I think it might have been Fine Touch. So, Master's Touch, I'm sorry. This is almost below student grade paint because it's alright. It's cheap. $15 for 200 milliliters. I'm gonna open the window because the fumes of this is bothering me, so Master's Touch is alright. It's fine. I am planning to get better paint. And they're coming soon. Today is Friday, so the paint should be here by Tuesday. It should be much better. It is Geneva paint. If you watch the channel Drawmix Paint, it's that guy's paint. He makes the paint. That paint is well, I can't really say anything about it. 1 second. You stay there. As if you were gonna move. Can't really say about anything about the paint, but from what I see, from what I hear, from what I see in his videos, it is very liquidy, or oily, I guess in this case, since this is oil paint. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. That paint has some desirable properties that I want. A lot of it is the flow of it, how good it feels. So that's why I went with it. There's a bunch of little stuff, I guess, but they all add up to a good deal, honestly. Because some paint out there is very expensive. I think kind of the grade above artists. I mean, the grade above student grade paint is artist grade paint, and above that is professional paint. I think I forgot what the scale is. Also, use paper towels. They're so helpful. See, nice and clean. Although be careful with the paper towels, they are flammable because it is oil. You do not want to deal with that. White. So yeah, I'm just using this. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm using these colors for my college class. Because it's cheap. Because I don't have to worry about it. If I use it all up at the end of the semester, I'm perfectly fine with it. I even got these at a deal. I think it was half off. Out of all of them. And I bought, as you can see here, the alizarin crimson, yellow medium, burn umber, ultramarine blue, and white. Actually, I didn't get the white. It was a gift, along with this phthalo blue. Phthalo blue. So, this is the black I was talking about. As you can see, it's very black. But I just want to make sure that it is. So, what I mean by that, if I add it with white, you may see that it changes colors. Of course, but it's not going to be gray, pure gray. So, why is this moving a lot? Okay. Nope, it's still moving. Yeah. Stay. Cool. So as you can see here, it's not pure black. Pure black would mean that this turns into gray. Oh, on the camera it is gray. If I bring it up closer, does it change? On the camera it kind of looks green. Interesting. In real life it looks more brown. So that's more of the that's because more of the burn umber is showing. However, I can actually use the brown, but I'm gonna save it for later. Whatever. For today, it's not gonna be that exciting. I'm just basically gonna paint the background, and I'm gonna paint out the spheres later. So, let's see. I'm gonna take a sample of the paint that I mixed up. I'm gonna hold it against, or hold it kind of to my reference. This is not ideal at all because I'm just moving it around so I can see, so I can have some reflectivity. This is not ideal because the colors on the screen are self-illuminating. They give out light. They give out light themselves because it's a screen. A picture is just how it is. It's printed with ink, and it's not like the paper is illuminated by a backlight or anything, or LEDs. So from what I see over here, this color this color comes up in the background about there, and it ends about there. It is very brown. I'm gonna tone it down with blue later, make it more gray. But that's the beauty of using burn umber and blue for a black. Is you can push it towards this brown, or you can push it blue. So let me do that now. I'm gonna take a piece of the black, put it over here, take some more blue. I should probably show you this. This is important. This is gonna be in the test. Take some more white. Still pretty brown. So I'm going to take a lot of blue. So I'm going to overshoot it towards blue. And then I'll be able to take more of this black and inch it towards a more gray. It needs to be lighter, so that's why I'm putting more white. And that's still a little brown, but it's a lot less. That's almost towards a nice perfect gray. But you know what? I'm gonna leave it that way. I want a little bit of color. Creates mood. So this color is gonna replace that. Replace all of that. My goodness, this canvas is an atrocity. It is absolutely out of this world terrible. I'm not gonna touch fine touch ever again. Right now I'm putting some paint thinner on my brush so that it gets a little bit more wet. It flows a lot. So I can use the same color for a longer time. See, now this is a lot more gray. Whoa, 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 whoa. That could have been bad. Maybe I put a little bit too much paint thinner. Ooh, it's dripping. Shoot. Okay. I put a little bit more paint on it, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, you may say that, the fuck are you doing? You're being such a mess all over the canvas. But that's kind of a part of Impressionism. It's a very good mix of abstraction and realism. So in the background, I don't have to be perfect. In the background, in the reference, it's a sheet. It's actually brighter than all of what I'm doing right now. It's really bright. So I'm gonna start putting in bright colors. That doesn't have to be exact either. You can always push it with the paint of the ball. Okay, so over here it gets a little darker. I say as I paint brighter. Bye, football. You were sad anyways. The color is about right. Maybe it gets a little darker. over there. So let me just put that in. There's a little glob of paint right there. I want to take it out. Boop. Get out. Okay. Okay. This part is pretty therapeutic. You don't have to worry about it. Just plop the paint on it and call it a day. Or maybe you keep going. Maybe you paint more. But I am so tired. I am so exhausted for today that this is just enough. This is enough for me. Okay. Let me see how this looks on camera. Ooh, it looks absolutely hideous. Nope, still looks hideous. That's fine. That's just fine and dandy. So kind of the next part of it is painting the foreground. The foreground is pretty bright. So I'm using all the blue that I have with me, and maybe I need more white. Blup. This paint is very thick, so actually that's why I put paint thinner on my brush so that it flows a little bit more. Just a little bit though. This thing is really strong. Meh. Get it? Okay, that looks about right. I'm checking my reference. That's about right. Yep. Because why not? Ugh, don't fall on me. My dog just sighed as if she had the longest day ever. Sure. Usually I would have music to listen to. But since I'm doing this, everything in the world is copyrighted. So, no music. Mostly because I'm lazy too. This is really why I use filberts. Well, I gotta kind of got taught into it by none other than, oh, I really forgot his name, the guy from Dromix Paint. He recommends filberts because they're very versatile. You can make, with a big brush, you can make big strokes, wide strokes. And if you're a little bit more delicate, you can make very thin ones, just using the blade of it. So that's how you can get a little bit more detail, a little bit more sharp for the edges. But then like over here you can make it really wide. And just go all over the place with it. Okay. Cool. Cool. There we go. That gives rid of those bright spots I had over there. Look at this one. Needs a little subduing. There we go. Yeah, anyways. Now, what I'm going to do is just basically leave my brush out until tomorrow, because the oil in it should just stay wet at least for a day really easily. Since I didn't use my other brushes, I'm gonna save them for tomorrow. And hopefully you guys see this. Well, preferably not next year.